Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Friday evening. Post time's in about 20 minutes. But first up, we have a non betting event. It's the 2-year-old trotting fillies in the Prospect Series. And I guess we're going to show it. Taking up their positions, she's hilarious. Santa Brogio in the center. Deal and Fashion, Stonebridge Icing, and Champagne Bettina to the outside. Savannah's Dream and Sala. Field of 7. A non-wagering event in the Prospect Series for 2-year-old trotting fillies. And Stonebridge Icing mid-break. There at the start of the off. Deal and Fashion leads with She's Hilarious. And then it is Savannah's Dream and Sala to the outside of the field works the way around the turn. Santa Brogio now is racing fourth as Sala is on the outside vying for fifth against Champagne Bettina. On into the backstretch they go. And with the front right now, She's Hilarious. She's Hilarious is on top. Deal and Fashion is racing second now. Deal and Fashion moves up on the outside. Deal and Fashion is going to take over. She's Hilarious is second. Savannah's Dream is third. Santa Ambrosio is racing fourth, and then Champagne Bettina and Sala. And Stonebridge Icing is racing now second last as Sala is back trailing the field. They race past the opening quarter. It was recorded in 30-3. Deal and Fashion has a lead of a couple of lengths right now. She's Hilarious is second. Savannah's Dream is third. Santa Ambrosio is racing fourth, and then Stonebridge Icing, Champagne Bettina, and Sala to the outside is trailing the field. And they raced to the half in 1:03. 30-second second panel. Deal and Fashion has the lead as they race on down the backstretch. Deal and Fashion leads it by a couple of lengths. She's Hilarious is second. Champagne Bettina third. And now Santa Ambrosio is on the outside and is moved up and is taken over third and is closing. Then racing for the Savannah's Dream. Stonebridge Icing is fifth and Sala is sixth, and seventh is Champagne Bettina. They race their way towards the top of the stretch of 3/4 of 1:31. Deal and Fashion. Santa Ambrosio on the outside is getting closer. She's Hilarious is third. On down the stretch drive they come. Santa Ambrosio is challenging Deal and Fashion, and Santa Ambrosio is going to win. Deal and Fashion was second. Then She's Hilarious, and fourth is close between Stonebridge Icing and Savannah's Dream. The mile was 2 minutes and 3/5. Santa Ambrosio. Fans note it is currently 13 minutes to our first race. The track condition for the evening will be listed as fast, and it is warm. Not much breeze. By the way, there is a look at Santa Ambrosio, who took that Prospect Series non-betting event. Fans, let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. And note race number 1, number 6, hashtag watch me, changing blinkers to blind bridle and adding a screen. Blinkers to blind bridle and adding a screen. Second race, number 3, YS Better's Legacy. Equipment change, side rolls to blinkers, side rolls to blinkers. Race 3, no changes. No changes, race 3. Race number 4, number 1, RJ Hooker. Tyler Moore will drive. Race 4, 1, RJ Hooker, Tyler Moore. Fifth race, no changes. No changes, race 5. Race 6 scratched is number 7, Larjan Lena. Race 6 scratched 7, Larjan Lena. Race 7-5, Gerard. Note on Lasix. Race 7-5, Gerard is on Lasix. Races 8 and 9, no changes.
He said don't worry about throwing.
Race number 10, 1, Jordan Deo. Driver to be announced. Race 10, 1, Jordan Deo. Driver to be announced. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, number 6, hashtag watch me. Blinkers to blind bridle and adding a screen. And the second race, 3, YS Better's Legacy. Side rolls to blinkers. That's side rolls to blinkers. It's 9 minutes to post time. Well, Rob Reed Jr., our handicapping expert, will be back in just a moment with a look at the pick 5 as we kick off the card of racing with a pick 5. And about 7 or 8 minutes to post time. It's 9 minutes to post right now. field for race 1 on parade. The Prospect Series First Division 1 is Night Out. Probably done for Bob McIntosh and Randy Lipa. Number 2 is Moon Watcher. Dan Meekins for Chance Van Nest and Phil Caetano. 3, Shadow Moon Rising. Teleport for Shane Barrington, Rick Ryer, and Paul Burbrick. For his Masked Man, Bruce Richardson. For Rennie Dion, guest John Goyette Incorporated. 5 is Shanghai Kai. Lauren House for Scott Pinniman and Kimberly McNiven and Donald Douglas. Number 6, hashtag Watch Me Anthony Hunt for Sean Arnott and Joe Tonelli. And number 7 will be Wildcat Rocky. Steve Byron for Dale Hurt and Wildcat Stables and Tony Tangretta. We're just a couple of minutes to post time to race number 1. Let's get a quick last minute look at this field. We'll stay right there with number 7, Wildcat Rocky. And Wildcat Rocky, 7 wins in 12 starts in the year and a couple of runner-up finishes as well. Wildcat Rocky comes in off a good speed mile of 54 and 1 at Georgian Downs. And note that was in the non-winners at 3 class. I think this spot could be softer, although there's a couple other good ones in here. The problem is Wildcat Rocky hasn't drawn well. If he'd have drawn a more favorable post, might be a more logical top choice, but I'm taking a flyer from post 7 anyway with Wildcat Rocky at 9-2. Number 3, Shadow Moon Rising. Back-to-back dominant wins for Shane Barrington with Shadow Moon Rising. And Shadow Moon Rising is one that is currently 8-5 on the board. Gate speed, in fact, went to the front from post 7 and 1 here in 56. So Shadow Moon Rising is definitely one that warrants a serious look. And Shadow Moon Rising is the 8-5 betting favorite. Number 2, Moon Watcher, is Robert Reed's top pick in here. This one raced well at Dresden last time out. 5 out of 10 on the top 2 on the year. Moon Watcher, the last time we saw this one here was in a Prospect Series June the 3rd. Winner again, y'all, by 8 lengths. Moon Watcher is currently 5-1 on the board. And number 4, Masked Man, was a dominant winner at Hanover July the 16th in a Prospect Series in 57-4 all the way on top. That was the second of 2 consecutive wins. Also won here June the 29th. The last race for Masked Man, tried things at Mohawk, didn't fare well, but look at this is one that's got 7 wins this year in 18 starts, has made almost 40,000 in 18 starts, and that clearly is the most of this field with Wildcat Rocky second of that class, although Wildcat Rocky has had a half dozen fewer starts. Wildcat Rocky is currently 6-1, but Moon Watcher 6-1 on the board. Robert's top pick, his picks are 2, 3, 7, 4, but I did go on the outside with 7 Wildcat Rocky and thought I'll get a price and I'll see if I can get home one from the outside. Love Wildcat Rocky the way he's been racing. Just don't love the post. 5-1. Fans are on 3. Shadow Moon Rising 6-5. The betting favorite. Gate is rolling for race number 1. It is Night Out and Moon Watcher on the inside. Shadow Moon Rising, Masked Man, and Shanghai Kai to the outside. Hashtag Watch Me and Wildcat Rocky. Field 4, race number 1 is at the start of the rough, and Shadow Moon Rising and Masked Man, and on the inside, Night Out. And then also leaving early is Wildcat Rocky as they drive it into the turn. Shadow Moon Rising is dueling with Night Out for the lead. Night Out is on the inside, Shadow Moon Rising. Then third away is Masked Man. Then it is hashtag Watch Me Moon Watcher. Wildcat Rocky is second from last, and Shanghai Kai trails the field. Night Out has got the lead, but Shadow Moon Rising is out and wants to come on and clear to the front. Shadow Moon Rising, Night Out is second, Masked Man is third. Hashtag Watch Me, then Moon Watcher, Wildcat Rocky, and Shanghai Kai, and they work on around the turn. Shadow Moon Rising 1-2 on the board, has the lead, and the advantage is a couple of lengths. Night Out is racing position second, Masked Man third. Hashtag Watch Me. And then working to the outside, Moon Watcher. And scooting up the inside, Wildcat Rocky, as Moon Watcher is dropping back on the outside. And then Shanghai Kai is moving up, and Moon Watcher is all the way back to trailing the field. Into the backstretch off a 56-2 halftime. Shadow Moon Rising. Night Out is racing position second. On the outside, hashtag Watch Me. Then it is Masked Man. Wildcat Rocky now is on the outside, second over. And then it is back to Shanghai Kai. Shadow Moon Rising still with the front. Night Out has been getting the trip. Hashtag Watch Me. Wildcat Rocky now is going to pop out. And on the inside, Masked Man. And then it is back to Shanghai Kai. But Shadow Moon Rising continues on. Shadow Moon Rising and Night Out. Masked Man is racing third. Wildcat Rocky, then Shanghai Kai. They turn for home. Shadow Moon Rising is going to win. Night Out is a closing second, then finishing a third. That was Masked Man, and fourth was Shanghai Kai. Mile was 154 flat for Shadow Moon Rising. Coming back in front of us is the winner of race 1, 3 Shadow Moon Rising, a 3-year-old Shadow Play Bay gelding, owned by Rick Breyer and Paul Berber, and a numbered company from Hanover. Shane Barrington's the trainer. Tyler Borth is the winning driver. Shadow Moon Rising's third win this year and fourth lifetime. Mile of 154 flat, a new career best. The first race payouts. Number 3, Shadow Moon Rising, $3, 240, 270, 1 night out, 690, 460. For Masked Man, 370. $2 exactor, 37.30. Dollar try, 74.70. Dollar super, 461.30. Field for the second on parade. 1, A Fair Somewhere. Jay Harris for Allen Fair. Number 2, Dogs Village Cheese. Garrett Rooney for Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. Number 3 is YS Better's Legacy. Anthony Hahn for Jim Lee. Number 4 Can Be a Treasure. Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Robert Chappell.
Going to the 6.
Number 6, NASA Hanover Teleport for Jason Sherman and Bert and Betty Sherman. And note that number 5 is HP Momentum. Jonathan Hahn for Francis Guillemette. It is a field of 6 for the second race. We're just a few minutes away from post time. And let's get a look at this field. The Prospect Series, 3-year-old Pacing Colts and Geldings. I'm going to start with number 2, Doc's Philly Cheese. And by the way, there's a look at that 5, HP Momentum, Jonathan Hahn for Francis Guillemette. We'll start with number 2, Doc's Philly Cheese, and well, 3 consecutive wins for Doc's Philly Cheese, and look at his 8 out of 11 in the top 2 in the year. Doc's Philly Cheese is even money in the board, and Doc's Philly Cheese is one that even won at Sarnia from post 8, firing to the front, and still won under wraps. 3 strong wins coming into this one for Brittany Kennedy. Doc's Philly Cheese is even money in the board. Number 3, YS Better's Legacy, an equipment change, side rolls to blinkers, and, well, pretty good recent form. 4 consecutive top 3 finishes, and a winner here in a maiden class. Last time out in 56-3, so that compares nicely here. YS Better's Legacy, 5-2 on the board, should be a main threat to Doc's Philly Cheese. Number 1, A Fair Somewhere. Well, you get inside post position. Now, this one hasn't been racing all that well of late, but look at A Fair Somewhere. You do see flashing gate speed at Clinton in a Prospect Series and wiring a field. A Fair Somewhere is one that just might come up with a bigger effort than you think. Inside post, Jay Harris driving. I think A Fair Somewhere could be a sleeper play that is worth a shot on top just because the other two are drawing so much interest. And 5, HP Momentum, well, parked every step of the way last time out. That was at Three Rivers, so now it's back into Ontario. That was July the 31st. This is one that's been trucking around. Raced January the 17th at Three Rivers. July the 17th, rather, at Three Rivers. January. July the 17th. Then July the 24th at Dresden. And then back up to Three Rivers July the 31st. And he's back here. This one's been getting some frequent flyer miles. HP Momentum, Jonathan Hahn for Francis Guillemette. And one that you do see some flashes, but that last trip at Three Rivers, I mean, just stroke that out. That was an impossible trip. Jonathan Hahn drives, and Francis Guillemotte's put up some decent numbers this year. HP Momentum is 7-1 on the board. Fans are all over number 2, Doc's Philly Cheese, 4-5 as the favorite. Gate is rolling for the second. Affair somewhere. Doc's Philly Cheese. In the center, YS Better's Legacy and Can Be a Treasure to the outside. HP Momentum. Nassau Hanover Field of 6-second dash. It is post time. Here they come. The field for the second race is into the stretch drive, gathering speed, approaching the start. And they're off. YS Better's Legacy, Affair Somewhere, Doc's Philly Cheese, and Can Be a Treasure. HP Momentum and Nassau Hanover, they work on around the turn. YS Better's Legacy was able to make the front. Affair Somewhere is out well and is just 2 lengths back. Racing second, Doc's Philly Cheese inside third. Can Be a Treasure is fourth, and then HP Momentum and Nassau Hanover. They race their way on to the opening quarter. YS Better's Legacy and Anthony Hahn has the lead right now. Affair Somewhere rolls in the pocket, just 2 lengths off the lead. Doc's Philly Cheese is third, and then racing fourth Can Be a Treasure, the trailing pair HP Momentum and Nassau Hanover. YS Better's Legacy leads off a 28-second opening quarter, heading up towards the half, and is on top by about 2 1/4 over Affair Somewhere. Doc's Philly Cheese is still on the inside as they roll past the half. Halftime was recorded in 57-2, and now Doc's Philly Cheese has took out first up third. Then racing position fourth is Can Be a Treasure in front of HP Momentum and Nassau Hanover. It is YS Better's Legacy who's got the lead as they race on into the backstretch. Doc's Philly Cheese is now second and is munching into the lead of YS Better's Legacy. Doc's Philly Cheese now has taken over. YS Better's Legacy is racing second. Can Be a Treasure. HP Momentum and Affair Somewhere is racing fifth. Doc's Philly Cheese 3/4, 126-2. Doc's Philly Cheese, Can Be a Treasure, is looming on the outside and is closing inside third. YS Better's Legacy and then HP Momentum. Doc's Philly Cheese as they turn on down the stretch drive. Doc's Philly Cheese, Can Be a Treasure is getting closer, but Doc's Philly Cheese will win. Then it's between Can Be a Treasure and HP Momentum. YS Better's Legacy fourth, 155-3. Doc's Philly Cheese. Back in front of us, the winner of the second race, the second division of the Prospect Series for 3-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Doc's Philly Cheese, a 3-year-old better than Cheddar Bay Colt, owned by Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. Brittany Kennedy is the trainer. Garrett Rooney, the winning driver. It's the 6th win this year in lifetime. Doc's Philly cheese.
Prices?
The second race payouts to Doc's Philly cheese. 310, 240, and 230. 4 can be a treasure, $5.90 and $4, and 5 Boom Momentum, $340, $2 exactor, $53.30. Try, $79, $60 Super, $100, $39.45. Here is your second race order finish in the top. 614235. That's 614235. Field 4, race number 3 on parade. 1, Dalhousie. Travis Henry for Jim Kerr and Bill Ramage. Number 2 is perfect time. Sylvain Lacaille for Kelly DeVal Lacaille. 3 is King Jewels. Jason Ryan for Jim Wellwood and Jeffrey Wellwood. 4 is Doc's Rock. Anthony Hunt for Cassidy Schneider and Dr. Steve Taylor. 5 is Better Style. Brett McDonough for Bob McIntosh and Dave Boyle. 6, Nickel in My Pocket. Samuel Filia for Mark Edward McKinnon and Larry and Marilyn Nickel. Field of 6, race number 3. Let's start off with a look at 1, Dalhousie, set up at Jim Kerr. And this is one that won at Clinton July the 17th. And that was the second of 2 wins, also won there July the 10th. Last time out, they tried it here, but look, it was almost 15 lengths back at the quarter, and yet came flying late to finish a second, beaten half a length to YS Better's Legacy. And we saw that one race here just a race ago. But definitely Dalhousie, I think, is one that has to be considered the one to beat. Jim Kerr often puts up big numbers. Small barn now with Jim Kerr, but in the past, lots of numbers. Dalhousie, Travis Henry, 1-2. Others to look at. How about 5, Better Style? Better Style, well, did race well, 55 and 4/3, April the 25th at Mohawk, but then missed a start due to sickness and qualified since then. So now has been off quite a while. But Better Style, when you look at that speed, you have to think that Better Style is one that could be a big factor if he's ready to rock and roll. And the qualifier, look at in the qualifier, 33 in one opening panel, and then really picked it up the next 3 panels. Better Style qualified in 59 and 4, but that's after that 33 in one opening quarter. Better Style could be tough in here, and you get 7-1 if you want to go against the 1-2 price, which seems like a good idea. Others, number 3, King Jewels. Well, 28 and 4 final quarter in that qualifier. That really piques my interest because King Jewels is a 2-year-old. Now, the first couple we mentioned 3-year-olds, but King Jewels, that's an interesting finishing to that qualifier. King Jewels is 5-1 on the board, makes a first career start. And one more is number 4, Doc's Rock. Well, Doc's Rock has had 3 starts, a second and a third, and that third was here in 57 and 4, so shows decent speed. Last race was post 7, and it just didn't work out well for Doc's Rock, but that's understandable. But certainly, and did put in a 57-second middle half. Doc's Rock from post 4 could be tougher here and can get onto the ticket 10-1. The third race, fans are all over. 1, Dalhousie, 1-2. Gate is rolling for the third. Dalhousie in perfect time in the center. King Jules and Doc's Rock to the outside. Better Style and Nickel in my pocket. Field of 6. Race number 3. It's a field of 6 for the third. They're at the start of the rough. Perfect time is out well. Doc's Rock. Better Style on the outside. Then it is Dalhousie and King Jules and Nickel in my pocket. He is back trailing the field. They work on around the turn. And right now, Doc's Rock is wanting to come on and rock a front spot over Perfect Time. Dalhousie third. Better Style is on the pylons, racing fourth. And then King Jules and Nickel in my pocket. Doc's Rock at 10-1 is going to rock on the lead past the opening quarter. Has a lead of 2 1/4. Perfect Time is second. Dalhousie third. Better Style is racing fourth, and then King Jules and Nickel in my pocket. It is Doc's Rock at 10-1. Anthony Hahn has got the lead. Perfect Time is making time in the pocket. Dalhousie is racing third. The 1-2 favorites about 4 lengths off the lead, and being followed by Better Style, who's currently racing about 5 from the front. Then there's a gap of 3. King Jules and Nickel in my pocket trails the field off a 28-4 opening quarter. They race their way past the half in 58-2. Doc's Rock still rocks the lead. Advantage is about a length and 3/4, now about 2 1/4. Perfect Time is second. Doc's Rock has let it out a notch and now leads by 3, but Dalhousie has popped out and has designs on collaring Doc's Rock. It is coming up quickly now. It is Doc's Rock. Dalhousie is moving and is right alongside Doc's Rock. 3/4 up off that 58-2 halftime. 127-2 3/4, and it is Dalhousie who's taken the lead from Doc's Rock. Then Better Style is living grab third from Perfect Time. Then King Jules and Nickel in my pocket. Dalhousie's got the lead, but flattens out a little bit at the top of the stretch, and Doc's Rock on the inside. And Better Style on down the stretch drive. Dalhousie now is cruising. Dalhousie's going to win. Better Style was second, and then third is between King Jules and Doc's Rock. Dalhousie at 156-1. Back in front of us, the winner of race number 3, it's one Dalhousie, a 3-year-old sports rider bay colt, owned by Bill Ramage and James Kerr. James is also the trainer, Travis Henry. Turk Henry victorious with Dalhousie. third win for Dalhousie in just 4 starts, mile of 156.1, a new career mark. The third race payouts: 1 Dalhousie 210, 250, 210. 5 Better Style 350, 284. Docs Rock 480, $2 exactor 1020. Dollar Tribe $1960 Super 43.90. The third race over a finish from the top is a 154.326. That's 154.326. Field 4, race number 4 on parade. 1, R.J. Hooker at Salamore for Ruth Moore. Number 2 is Woodshed Anthony Hahn for Dave Holiday and Graham Jackson. Number 3 is Lady Guinevere at Salamore for Shane Barrington and Percy Elkins. Number 4, Alexa, play country. Ron Waples Jr. for James Fullerton. And number 6, Miss Tori, Paul McKenzie for Paul Meegans and Saltwater Stable.
Going to 5 now.
5 is Commemorative, Blair Burgess for Corinne Olson Burgess and SNR Racing. And number 7 is I Think Not, Lauren House for Nelson White and Deborah White and David Lawrence. It is Something About Lucy, Jason Ryan for Gerald Sloan and Joanne Sloan. And 9 is Skyly Dream, Sylvain Lacaille for Kelly Duval Lacaille and Jean Dubois. Field of 9, race number 4. Let's get a look at this field. And we'll start with number 3, Lady Guinevere, who raced here in a maiden last time out. And that was one that Rob was touting and lived up to what he mentioned about Lady Guinevere, and went to the front and just rock and rolled. Came home solidly 2-29 and 3. Lady Guinevere's first win. Lady Guinevere, you do see an X on the dance card June the 23rd, but was certainly fine here. Lady Guinevere 6-5, looking to put together back-to-back wins in the maiden class, and Tyler Borth driving. Tyler drove in that victory, and there's Lady Guinevere right now. Number 1, R.J. Hooker and Tyler Moore. Well, this is one that's got a couple of runner-up finishes, and one of them was here, and a solid effort. And also, you do see this one trotting in 57-4 to finish a second, beaten half a length, June the 26th. Though R.J. Hooker is definitely one that could give Lady Guinevere a battle. R.J. Hooker certainly shows it possibly has the speed advantage over Lady Guinevere, although Lady Guinevere didn't need to go more last time out. We'll see how that unfolds, but R.J. Hooker has the inside, and Tyler Moore driving. Others, let's look at number 2, Woodshed. Well, trailer post in each of the last couple, gets to be back on the game. And in fact, this one left well from the trailer post 2 races ago. But if you go back 3 races ago, got a pocket ride from post 4 and finished beaten just a length and a quarter. I think Woodshed is one that belongs somewhere on the ticket. 12-1 on the board. We'll see if Woodshed can work out a trip here from post 2, but should be able to. And Woodshed is 7-1. And 9, Skyly Dream, 12-1 on the board, now has to deal with the trailer post, but is coming in off of a 3rd place finish. The overall record is a bit light, but has been much better of late, and now has 3 top 3 finishes and a 4th in the past 6 starts. Skyly Dream is 12-1 on the board. The 4th race going to post in just a couple of minutes. Right now, number 3, Lady Guinevere, 7-5 on the board. It is rolling for race number 4. RJ Hooker Woodshed on the inside. In the center, Lady Guinevere, Alexa Play Country, and Commemorative. On the outside, Miss Tori, I think not. And Something About Lucy. And the second tier is Skyly Dream. It's a field of 9 for the 4th race. And the field for the 4th race is at the start of the rough. Lady Guinevere, RJ Hooker, Commemorative, Miss Tori to the outside. Then it is Woodshed, and I think not as the field drives around the turn. Then it's Alexa Play Country, and racing to the outside is Something About Lucy, and then it is back to Commemorative. Lady Guinevere is trying to clear to the front of her RJ Hooker. Lady Guinevere now is able to stride up and take the lead, where actually is still outside and leads a length and a quarter. And now Lady Guinevere is cleared to the front. RJ Hooker is going to pop back out 29-3 the opening quarter, and it is RJ Hooker who's come back around in front of Lady Guinevere. Then third is Commemorative as they work around the turn, and Miss Tori is racing fourth, and then it is Woodshed. And then further back is I Think Not, racing position to fifth as they work on towards us. In sixth is Something About Lucy. Ostrad Alexa Play Country. It is RJ Hooker, halftime 59-1. RJ Hooker, Miss Tori on the outside now, is getting up a little bit closer. Lady Guinevere is on the inside third, 2 1/4 lengths from the front. Then fourth is Commemorative. Then about 4 or 5 lengths back to Woodshed. And then it is back further to I Think Not on the inside, and to the outside Something About Lucy. RJ Hooker, Miss Tori on the outside at 25-1, trying to move up against RJ Hooker, and is only about a half length back. 3/4 129-1. Lady Guinevere is third, and Commemorative is spotted second over, about 3.5 off the lead, and then Woodshed they turn from, and RJ Hooker. Lady Guinevere is second. RJ Hooker as they come on down the stretch ride. RJ Hooker, Lady Guinevere. RJ Hooker slowing a bit at the finish on the inside. Lady Guinevere. RJ Hooker wins it. Lady Guinevere was second. Commemorative third. And Woodshed fourth, 159-3. Back in front of us, the winner of race 4, it's 1, RJ Hooker. 5-year-old Glide Master Bay gelding, owned and trained by Ruth Moore. Tyler Moore is the winning driver. RJ Hooker, 159-3. The fourth race payouts 1 RJ Hooker 620, 330 283, Lady Guinevere 220 230, and 5 commemorative 550. $2 exact or $11.70 try, $70 $45 super to a 145. Fans note in race number 10, we have a driver change. On number 1, Jordan Deo, it'll be Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore drives 1, Jordan Deo in the 10th. Fans also note in race number 6, scratched is 8, Katie Roses. Race 6, scratch 8, KD Roses. The fourth race over a finish from the top 142 935 678. That's 142 935 678. Field for the fifth race on parade one. Chappie's Boy, down the fourth for Paul Chapman. To its Harper's Hat-Trick, Travis Henry for Chris Haskell and Grant Shelton. And 3 to Jennifer's Credit, Bruce Richardson for Sean Arnott. 4 is AJ Knight, Brett McDonough for Michelle Bowen and Felix Racing. 5 is Okie from Muskogee, Jay Harris for Shane Barrington and Katrina Barrington. And number 6, Global Crush, Tyler for Alan Shelton. Field of 6, race number 5. Well, let's get a look at this field for race number 5, the Share Agricultural Foundation, and we will start with 1, Chappie's Boy, 2 to 1 on the board. Pretty impressive effort here from post 1 last time. I sat the pocket and was able to get on by comfortably to win by a length and a half. And Chappie's Boy has the inside again here post 1, looking for a repeat. And look at the speed of the last 2. That was a 55 and 2 win, and also raced here in 55 July the 22nd. And look at this is one that's made only 2 starts this year. Had 10 tries last year as a 4-year-old, but Chappie's Boy has really come on nicely now. And Tyler Borth with the drive. Tyler's having a very fine year. Chappie's Boy 2 to 1. Number 2, Harper's Hat-Trick, is one that won here last year in 53 and 4 and had 8 wins and 18 starts last year. Not quite as good this year. But Harper's Hat-Trick is one that definitely is capable. Did have a romping win at Clinton July the 10th, and that was quite the effort. Parked early and then out and driving and just one going away. And did race in 55 and change here the last couple competitive miles, but we know there's more in the tank for Harper's Hat-Trick. It could show up at any moment, maybe right here, 3 to 1. Number 5, Okie from Muskogee. Last couple races at Rito Carlton didn't end well, but was racing in solid company. In fact, you see 53 2 races ago, finishing 6th. And just before that, did have a win in a lesser condition class, going all the way on top in 53. You do see last December, 52 and 3, a very solid 3rd place finish. That's a good time. So we know that Okie from Muskogee has got some wheels and could present a big threat to the first couple we mentioned here. Okie from Muskogee is getting heavily backed at 3 to 5. And one more to take a look at. How about 3 to Jennifer's Credit? Winless in the past 2 years, has 3 wins lifetime. But to Jennifer's Credit, has been flashing better of late. And you do see a couple of runner-up finishes during the last 5 starts, and was a competitive 4th here last time out. That's the race that Chappie's Boy was a winner. Harper's Hat-Trick was 3rd in that one. To Jennifer's Credit is one that is currently offering a price. Now, just I think is one that you might be able to squeeze onto the ticket. To Jennifer's Credit, 25 to 1 on the board. The fans have made co-favorites now between 1, Chappie's Boy, and 5, Okie from Muskogee. The value play right now is Harper's Hat-Trick at 5 to 1. It is rolling for race number 5, Chappie's Boy. Harper's hat trick on the inside. In the center, to Jennifer's credit, AJ Knight. And to the outside, Oki from Muskokie and Global Crush. It's a field of 6. Race number 5. It is post time. Field 4, race number 5 is into the stretch drive, gathering speed, approaching the start. And the field for the 5th race is at the start of the drive. Oki from Muskokie, Chappie's Boy, then Harper's hat trick to Jennifer's credit. Then it is back to AJ Knight and Global Crush, but right now Chappie's Boy's got the lead. Harper's hat trick is racing, filling the pocket to Jennifer's credit 3rd. Oki from Muskokie now is on the inside 4th in front of AJ Knight and Global Crush. Chappie's Boy 6-5 on the board has the lead as they roll up to the opening quarter. Harper's hat trick in the pocket to Jennifer's credit 3rd. Then Oki from Muskokie and AJ Knight and Global Crush 28 the opening quarter, and the lead belongs to Tyler Borth and Chappie's Boy racing along in a lead of a length and a half with Harper's hat trick bravening in the pocket. To Jennifer's credit is on the inside 3rd. There goes Oki from Muskokie now, wheeling on the outside. Global Crush has moved out. AJ Knight is on the inside trailing the field. Chappie's Boy lead of a length and 3/4 over Harper's hat trick. Oki from Muskokie first up 3rd. Halftime was reached in 58-1. Following on the outside, Global Crush about 3.5 off the lead. To Jennifer's credit is on the pylons in front of AJ Knight. Into the backstretch they go, and it is still Chappie's Boy who's got the front. Chappie's Boy, Oki from Muskokie on the outside is getting a little bit closer, and Chappie's Boy and Oki from Muskokie. Harper's hat trick is 3rd. Then to Jennifer's credit is on the inside. Global Crush on the outside. And AJ Knight is straddling the field. Chappie's Boy has driven on and turned back Oki from Muskokie for now. But Harper's hat trick looks alive and is going to try to squeeze home as they turn for home. Chappie's Boy, Harper's hat trick as they come on down the stretch drive. Chappie's Boy, Harper's hat trick is out for the drive. And Chappie's Boy, Harper's hat trick, Chappie's Boy, and Harper's hat trick. Harper's hat trick was closing, but Chappie's Boy might have held on, but it is close between those two. To Jennifer's credit, 3rd, 154-4. It is a photo finish. In the win photo, it went to number 2, Harper's hat trick. Mile of 154-4. Coming back in front of us, the winner of race 5, it is number 2, Harper's hat trick, a 4-year-old sports rider bay horse owned by Chris Haskell and Grant Shelton. Chris Haskell is the trainer. Travis Henry The winning driver, it is the fourth win this year, 12th lifetime, Harper's hat trick. And to trackside, we have the Share Agricultural Foundation Group. The fifth race of payouts, Harper's hat trick 630, 220, and 230. One Chappie's Boy, 230, 223. To Jennifer's Credit, 340. $2 exactor, $9.50. Dollar try, $14.90. Dollar super, $40.05. The dollar pick five is $59.55. The fifth race order finished in the top 213,546. That's 213,546. Field for the sixth race on Parade 1. Premier Bettina, Paul McKenzie for Terry Gallant and Calvin Kepfer. And number 2 is Molly Cool, Birmingham for Richard Burrois, Jean-Francois Reed. Number 3, She's a Comedian, Jay Harris for Brett Lester, Michelle Letarte, and Jean Allaire. For his Counter Currency, Jason Ryan for Richard Moreau and Michelle Baril, Mike Romanelli, and Sylvain Deschanel. 5 is Keep It in Perspective, Anthony Hahn for Paul Meekins and Stacy Newman and JJJ Stables. Number 6, Saturn 5, Travis Henry for Matt Dupuis and Sam Mulholland.
Going to the 9.
Scratches of 7 and 8. And 9 is JMR Mockmel, Chalaborth for Harold Wilson and JMR Racing. Field of 7 for race number 6, and we'll take a look at this field. We're going to see if we can bring in Robert Reed Jr. Robert, are you there? Well, let's take a look at this field for race number 6, and we'll start with number 2, Molly Cool. Well, Molly Cool now gets a better post position and did wire a field comfortably here July the 22nd, 2 races ago, 55-1, and also shows winning here Canada Day, 55-1 as well, all the way on top. So Molly Cool is one that has, I think, a big chance to go to the front. Molly Cool gets to start inside of She's a Comedian, the favorite right now. Molly Cool set up by Richard Moreau. And 2 wins and a third for Richard with Molly Cool. The last one, that post 7, and that was a credible third. And Molly Cool 5-2. But the fans have made 3 She's a Comedian the favorite. And look, it did race here in 55-2, rather at Georgian in 55-2 2 races ago. But the last race parked early and then romped to victory, but it was 56-1. And we'll see if She's a Comedian can carry that forward into here. She's a Comedian is one that is currently getting the love at even money on the board. Now 5-2 has popped up as Molly Cool's the 2-1 favorite. Number 1, Premier Bettina, is a horse that I've really liked the way this one raced. The last race at Georgian, it was a mile of 54-1, but I think Premier Bettina has shown me some interesting flashes. The key will be whether Premier Bettina and Paul McKenzie can work out a trip from the inside. Premier Bettina has certainly been giving some glimpses that she can be a very sharp one in here. Premier Bettina, 8-1 on the board is the value play. No value on the first 2 we mentioned, although She's a Comedian now has popped up to 3-1. And one more to take a look at, 9, JMR Mockmel. If Premier Bettina can get off the gate, JMR Mockmel could get a trip, but Molly Cool and She's a Comedian, well, especially Molly Cool, almost certainly to fire early. She's a Comedian. Well, it depends on what Premier Bettina and Molly Cool do. But nonetheless, I think JMR Mockmel could get a trip from that trailer post and end up being more than what you might think in here. Though the season isn't going well, but JMR Mockmel was really good last year. And this is one that has shown a little bit of a flash of late now. Has a win at Georgian Downs July the 2nd. And then a pretty good effort there July the 16th, beaten just a length. JMR Mockmel, 19-1 on the board. The fans now are all over number 2, Molly Cool, 3-5. It is rolling for race number 6. Premier Bettina and Molly Cool on the inside. She's a Comedian. Counter Currency in the center. And to the outside, keep it in perspective, and Saturn 5. In the second tier, JMR Mock Mel. Field for the 6th race is at the start of the rough, and Molly Cool, Premier Bettina. She's a Comedian and Counter Currency that keep it in perspective, and Jamar Mel and Saturn 5. They race their way into the backstretch. Molly Cool has the lead in. Premier Bettina is out well from the inside, will fill the pocket on the back of Molly Cool. She's a Comedian third. Then it is Counter Currency and Keep It in Perspective, and Jamar Mel and Saturn 5 is trailing to field. Molly Cool leads at a length and a half over Premier Bettina. Opening quarter 28-2. She's a Comedian third. Then it is Counter Currency. Jamar Mel, Keep It in Perspective, has one beaten, and that is Saturn 5. Molly Cool 6-5 on the board. The favorite leads the rush off the turn. Premier Bettina is right there enjoying the view in the pocket. She's a Comedian is still on the inside and now is going to pop out. Here comes She's a Comedian now. Is bursting up onto the scene against Molly Cool. Premier Bettina is still there in the pocket. 58-4 is the halftime. And now Keep It in Perspective on the outside is working second over on the back of She's a Comedian. Counter Currency on the inside racing fair. Then Saturn 5 and Jammer Mel. It is Molly Cool as they race on down the backstretch. Premier Bettina has been getting a premier ride on the inside, and She's a Comedian is racing to the outside and now is taken second by about a head over Premier Bettina on the inside, but it is still Molly Cool the one beat. 3/4, 127-1. Molly Cool and Brett McDonald. Premier Bettina on the inside racing second. She's a Comedian now dropping back a little bit. Then Counter Currency and Keep It in Perspective, and here comes Premier Bettina trying to track down Molly Cool, but Molly Cool is cool in the lane. Molly Cool is going to win. Premier Bettina was second. Then third is Counter Currency over Jamar Mel. 155-4, Molly Cool. Back in front of us is the winner of race number 6. It is number 2, Molly Cool, a 5-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay mare. Owned by Jean-Francois Reed. Richard Moreau is the trainer. Brett McDonald is the winning driver. It's the 5th win this year, 11th lifetime. Molly Cool, 155 and 4. The sixth race payout to Molly Cool for 72.92.60. One Premier Bettina for 23.50. For Counter Currency 490. Dollar High Five is 652.50. Exactor of 2 and 1 Molly Cool and Premier Bettina 15.10. Dollar Try 62.50. And we had a dollar win for 4 of 4 71.50. The sixth race, order of finish from the top, 2-1-6-3-5-7, double scratch 4. That's 2-1-6-3-5-7, double scratch 4. Field 4, race number 7. On parade 1, CD Max, Steve Houdon for Donald Smith and Donna Parker and Mark Winnicott. Number 2 is Sayonara Angel. Dan O'Brien drives and trains and owns.
Fool's next.
And for Atalanta Express, number for Katarina Bosniak and JJ Stables. Number 5 is Gerard Samuel Fillion for Gerard Demers and Triple S Equine. Number 6 is Mr. Walker, Gerard Demers for Triple S Equine. Number 7, Dirt, Paul McKenzie for Paul Meagans and Saltwater Stable. 8 is Global News, Travis Sandberg for Blake McIntosh and Hut Racing and Stu McIntosh. Note we're still waiting. Number 3, Final Dream. And there is Tyler Borth for Joshua McGibbon and Brandon GRR. It's a field of 8 for race number 7. We'll stay right there with number 3, Final Dream. And, well, Final Dream is one that comes in off of a second place finish at Kawartha. And, by the way, that's not 3 Final Dream, but we had Final Dream with Tyler Borth on the screen just a moment ago. Note that number 3, Final Dream, and Tyler Borth for Joshua McKibbin. Number 3, Final Dream, off of that second last time out, and 56-4, and also a winner at Sarnia in 58-3. And look, this is one that was decent last year and has lots of backlash. A 7-year-old with 180,000 lifetime, and has clearly got the most class of this field. Final Dream is 6-5, getting a lot of love. But if there's one that could take down Final Dream, it would have to be 6, Mr. Walker. But here's the problem with Mr. Walker. You see a lot of X's on the dance card early in the mile. If Mr. Walker can stay flat, just might be fine, because Mr. Walker's very talented, but that has been a bit of an if for Mr. Walker. The trainer Gerard Demers will drive and try to keep him flat. He's certainly got a big turn of foot, and he is 8-1 on the board. Number 8, Global News, is one that comes in off of a second at Sarnia and did win a couple of times last year as a 2-year-old. Global News has a post position problem, but certainly Global News could be a factor for a share. You see enough speed to be a factor. Shows trotting at 57-3 at Mohawk back in the late part of April. Global News, this would be the second start off of missing some time due to sickness, and now comes back just 6 days later. Global News raced last Saturday at Sarnia, and now in 6 days after that. Global News is 7-1. And number 5, Gerard. Interesting to note that this is one that Samuel Fillion drives and does flash some decent speed at Pocono. That's a track that lists some pretty speedy times, but also took a mark at Philadelphia 55, another quick track. But look, it earned more than $2,000 a start last year. This is just the 4th start of the year, and this will be the first start with Gerard Demers. Had been racing south of the border. Gerard, if he was up to his old self, he could be huge in here, 4-1. The 7th race of Field of 8 starts the late pick 4, going to post shortly. Field for the 7th, taking up positions, City Max and Sayonara Angel with Final Dream. In the center, Atalanta Express and Gerard to the outside, Mr. Walker Dirt and Global News. It's a field of 8. It's race number 7 on a Friday night at Grand River Raceway. It is post time. Giddy up. Field for the 7th race is at the start and the rough, and Final Dream will leave with Gerard to the outside. Sayonara Angel, CD Max went off stride, and Dirt is part of the early action. But right now, the early lead goes to Gerard and Sammy Filios. Sayonara Angel is racing second. And Final Dream is third. Then Dirt's racing fourth, and then CD Max and Atalanta Express, and Mr. Walker and Global News is trailing the field. Gerard at 2-1 has the lead. That's Sayonara Angel at 25-1, who's racing 2 lengths off the front, rolling second. Final Dream is third, and then Dirt is positioned fourth in front of CD Max and Atalanta Express. Mr. Walker down has been taken to the outside, and then it is back to Global News. They race off the turn of the field, comes on towards us. And it is Gerard who's got the lead. Gerard and Sayonara Angel with Final Dream third. And now Mr. Walker has moved up and is on the back of Final Dream, who took to the outside and giving cover to Mr. Walker. Then it is back to Dirt. And on the outside, Global News has gained a couple of spots. Then CD Max on the inside. And Atalanta Express is trailing the field on into the backstretch up a 59-3 halftime. And it is Gerard who's got the lead. Gerard getting closer. Final Dream, though. Final Dream is working first over. Sayonara Angel. And then Mr. Walker is on the back of Final Dream, and Final Dream is getting closer and moving up against Gerard. It is Gerard and Final Dream. Sayonara Angel. Mr. Walker is looming from fourth and getting a little closer. Mr. Walker is going to spread out 3 wide. It is Gerard and Final Dream and Mr. Walker and Sayonara Angel and Dirt. 3/4, 129-4. And as they come on down the stretch drive, Gerard up the inside. Sayonara Angel on the outside. Final Dream. Final Dream gets by in the final strides to win it over Gerard. And then it was Sayonara Angel and Mr. Walker. Final Dream, 159-4. Back in front of us, the winner of race 7. It's number 3, Final Dream. 7-year-old Cantab Hallbay Gelding, owned by Brandon Guerrera of Brantford. Josh will be given the trainer Tyler Borth with the winning drive. It is the second win this year, 13th lifetime. Final Dream, 159-4. The seventh race payout, 3 Final Dream, 340, 230, 265 Gerard, 320 and 250, and 2 Sayonara Angel, 310. Dollar pick 3 is 12.85 and 3 of 3. The $2 exactor is $7.40. The dollar try $29.05. The dollar super is $74.35. The seventh race order finished in the top is an 83172-456. That's 83172-456. Field for the 8th on Parade 1, Belichick. Nick Boyd for James Dean and Brian Doyle. To his words escape me, Lauren House for Scott McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst and Donald Douglas and Shirley Griffin. And number 3 is Buckin' Better, Jason Ryan for Amanda Fine and Scott and Lisa Henry. 4 is Donahue Sealster Travis Henry for Madeline Henry and Chris Haskell and Grant Shelton and Stanley Henderson. 5 is Dream for Sunshine, Talaborth for Jason Libby and John Lamers. And number 6, Sumax Angel, Paul McKenzie for Sue McKenzie. Field of 6, race number 8, the Prospect Series 3rd Division for 3-year-old pacing colts and geldings. And let's look at this field. And we're going to start with number 5, Dream for Sunshine, who's not getting a lot of sunshine on the tote board. But you get Tyler Borth and Jason Libby, strong connections. And look at this is one that raced really well at Dresden last time out. Romped to victory in 57-2. Came home very well in that one also. And you also see this one racing 3 races ago at Mohawk. And in that one had a pretty substantial 55-3 back half. Dream for Sunshine did race here 2 races ago at a non-winners of 30,000. I think fits really well here. I'm surprised that Dream for Sunshine isn't getting more love, and might as the betting cycle continues, but is 9-1 right now. Number 4, Donahue Sealster, 7-1 on the board, and has come on nicely the last couple races. And look, it was 3rd here in 55-1, just 2 races ago. Donahue Sealster, off that recent form, I think is one that you've got to consider. And Donahue Sealster also had a couple of wins in just 5 starts as a 2-year-old last year. Donahue Sealster, I think, is a dangerous threat and also is offering value of 7-1 because the money is all on the inside on Belichick. Now, Belichick is one that raced at Mohawk last race. It didn't go well, but raced at Hanover the start before it, 58-4, and had a start here before that, a 57-1 mile. Belichick has shown some nice signs, but 1-5 on the board, that certainly deflates my interest in taking this one. Belichick, 1-5. And number 3, Buck and Better. Well, there were just a couple that were better than him last time out at Sarnia, but the speed was good, 54-1. Buck and Better has 4 top 3 finishes and 9 starts in the year. Buck and Better and Jason Ryan is currently 7-1 on the board. The fans are on 1 Belichick, but I like 5 Dream for Sunshine, still at 7-1. It is rolling for race number 8. Belichick, words escape me on the inside. On the center, Buck and better Donahue Sealster. On the outside, Dream for Sunshine and Sumax Angel. Field 4, race number 8, into the stretch drive, and here they come. They're at the start of the rough, and Buck and better hits out sharply. Words escape me has gone off stride and gets to the outside. Now racing second, Donahue Sealster. Then Dream for Sunshine, and Belichick is racing position fourth. Then it is Sumax Angel. Words escape me now trailing the field after that break in stride. It is Buck and better, who's better than them all right now. Leads at 9-5 on the board as they race up to the opening quarter. Donahue Sealster in the pocket. Dream for Sunshine is currently 3 lengths off the lead. In front of Belichick, racing fourth, and then Sumax Angel and Words Escape Me, 28-2 the opening quarter. And Buck and Better's got the lead. Buck and Better, Donahue Sealster, Dream for Sunshine, those are the first 3. And then Belichick is racing fourth, and then Sumax Angel, and back to Words Escape Me. Buck and Better and Jason Ryan's got the lead. Donahue Sealster is racing from the pocket. Dream for Sunshine is positioned third. 57-4 is the halftime. Then it's a gap of a couple. Belichick racing fourth, and then Sumax Angel and Words Escape Me. Buck and Better still has the front as they race their way on into the backstretch. Buck and Better, Donahue Sealster has been getting the trip. Dream for Sunshine is third and is 3 from the lead as they hustle on up to 3/4, and now Buck and Better strides out to a lead of a length and 3/4. Donahue Sealster, Dream for Sunshine, Belichick took out, but flattened out, and popping out from third. Here comes Dream for Sunshine, 3/4 in 1:26. Buck and Better, Donahue Sealster, and Dream for Sunshine and Sumax Angel. They turn from Buck and Better as they come on down the stretch drive. And Buck and Better was the best of the bunch and wins it. Then Dream for Sunshine was second. Third is between Sumax Angel and Donahue Sealster, 155 flat. Back in front of us, the winner of race A, number 3, Buck and Better. A 3-year-old Better is still light, pink, counting on by Scott and Lisa Henry. Amanda Fine, the trainer, Jason Ryan's the winning driver. It's the second win this year in lifetime. Buck and Better, 155 flat. The eighth race payout, $3 and better, 563, 10, 285, Dream First Sunshine, 310, 260, and 6 Sumax Angel, 370. $2 exactor, $12.90, try, $29, $15 super, $71.90. Eighth race order finish in the top, 561423. That's 561423. field for race 9. One clothes optional. Get ready for Sean Hyatt and Kyle Stretch. Number 2 is Sailor's Delight, Andre Goy for Ruth Moore and James Hasty. 3, Little Babushka, Steve Houdon for Jesse Rutledge. Number 4 is Nikki Lauder, Travis Henry for Craig Gilmore and Ron Nobes. Five is Einhorn Finkel, Anthony Hunt for Duncan Brewer and Randall Urquhart. Number 6, Miss Italia, Samuel Filia for Nikki Comegna and Bruno Comegna. And number 7 is Rockabilly Cockshot, Jay Harris for Lacey McCabe and Glenview Livestock. It's a field of 7 for race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And right now the fans are split between A Sailor's Delight and Nikki Lauder. And Rob and I split on this one as well. We'll start with 4, Nikki Lauder, my top one. Nikki Lauder is one that now doesn't have a win or even a top 2 finish in 4 starts this year. But I think off of that mile, that third in 57-2 last time out, Nikki Lauder is one that could make some noise here. Nikki Lauder sent up for Craig Gilmore. This is one that was decent last year as a 4-year-old. Limited action, 14 starts, but earned $1,000 to start. I think Nikki Lauder can make some real noise in this dash, and Nikki Lauder is 2-1. Number 2 is Sailor's Delight. Well, is one that sailed rather delightfully last time out, 58-1, a win of 4.5 lengths. So a Sailor's Delight off that good last race is 5-2 on the board. We'll see if the plan for A Sailor's Delight is to try to fire to the front. It has a bit of gate speed, but not sure which one makes the front in this one. A Sailor's Delight did get away third last time out and then make that move to the front, but then just carried right on trucking nicely, and one going away, 5-2. Others to look at: number 7, Rockabilly Cockshot. Well, post position 7, Rockabilly Cockshot does have 3 wins in 12 starts in the year. But Rockabilly Cockshot, the recent form isn't sexy on this one. Rockabilly Cockshot is one that, is going to have to do some serious plowing from post position 7. Has had outside post each of the past 3. Hasn't fared well, but is set out by a strong barn. Lacey McCabe has 9 wins and 29 starters on the year. Jay Harris driving 9-2 on the board. And one more is number 6, Miss Italia. Did race better last race, and now Miss Italia is looking to step forward off of that one. Mile of 58-4, Miss Italia and Samuel Filia for Nikki Comegna, 15-1. It's a field of 7 for race number 9. Checking up their positions. It'll be clothes optional, a sailor's delight. In the center, Little Babushka, Nikki Lauder, and Einhorn is Finkel to the outside. Miss Italia and Rockabilly Cockshot. Field of 7, race number 9. They're at the start of the rough, and a sailor's delight. Nikki Lauder, Rockabilly Cockshot is plowing hard on the outside as they work on around the turn. But on the inside is Sailor's Delight. Nikki Lauder, Rockabilly Cockshot. Einhorn is Finkel and clothes optional. Then Little Babushka and Miss Italia. And they race their way on to the opening quarter as Sailor's Delight has got the lead. Nikki Lauder has found the pocket. Nikki Lauder, the 3-5 favorite, sits in the back of a Sailor's Delight, who's 4-1 on the lead. Rockabilly Cockshot is third. Then Einhorn is Finkel and clothes optional. Little Babushka and Miss Italia. 27-4 opening quarter. Sailor's Delight leads at a length and a half. Nikki Lauder is racing in the pocket, and Rockabilly Cockshot is racing position to third as they roll on towards us. And now Einhorn is Finkel is on the outside, and then it is back to Miss Italia, close optional, and Little Babushka is trailing the field 58-4 is the halftime 31-second second panel breather. Sailor's Delight. Nikki Lauder vacated the pocket and stepped out and is trying to color a Sailor's Delight. Rockabilly Cockshot is third. Einhorn is Finkel is racing fourth, and then close optional. Then Miss Italia and Little Babushka is way back. They race their way on towards three quarters, and it is a Sailor's Delight. Nikki Lauder is trying to wear down a Sailor's Delight. Three quarters, 127-1. As Sailor's Delight and Nikki Lauder are going at it. Rockabilly Cockshot's on the inside third. Then Einhorn is Finkel, and then it is close optional and Miss Italia. They turn for home. A Sailor's Delight on the inside. Nikki Lauder on the outside as they come on down the stretch from Nikki Lauder. A Sailor's Delight up the inside. Rockabilly Cockshot, 3 across the track. It was close. On the outside was Nikki Lauder. On the inside, Rockabilly Cockshot, a Sailor's Delight between those three. Between those two. 3 across the track to the finish. It's close. It might have been Nikki Lauder on the outside, but we're going to have to see a little slow motion action here to be certain. In the win photo, it goes to number 4, Nikki Lauder. Got up just in the final strides. Back in front of us, the winner of race 9 for Nikki Lauder, 5-year-old Thinking Out Loud brown mare. On Baron Nopes and Craig Gilmore. Craig is out to the trainer Travis Henry, the winning drive. 3 on the night for Travis Henry. It's the first win for Nikki Lauder this year, third lifetime, 156-2. Ninth race. Payouts for Nicky Louder, 340, 240, 210, 7. Rockabilly Cockshot, $4, 310 to a Sailor's Delight, 260. $2 exactor, $15, $20 try, 23, $10 super, 74.55. The ninth race order finish from the top, 437 1562. That's 437 1562. 7 minutes to our 10th dash. Field for the 10th on parade. 1 is Jordan Dow. It's Tyler Moore for Brian Eckenstein and Debbie Eckenstein. And number 2, Manhattan Joe. It's Bruce Richardson for Earl McLeod and Clifton Hobbs. Number 3, Sip of Bourbon. Travis Henry for Dale Fritz and Michael Sawyer and Edward Aitchison. And for EL Lonely Charlie, Jason Ryan for Tim Jacobson and James Lewis. 5, If You Don't Chew Big Red, Lauren House for Tim Myers and Glenby Farms. And number 6, That Moment in Life, Teleporth for Tim Myers and David O'Macaulay. Number 7 is Dirty Little Piglet, Shea Harris for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. And number 8 is Carson Star Choice, Anthony Hunt for Vicky Craig. Number 9, Somewhere in Tuscany, Nick Boyd for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. Field of 9, race 10, Tyler Moore drives 1, Jordan Dale. Let's look at this field. And, well, we're going to start with number 3, Sip of Bourbon. And look at that mile of 51 and 2. 2 races go in a grassroots at Mohawk. I think that jumps out in this field. And it wasn't just a one-off because followed that up with a 52 and 3 mile last time out and fired to the front from post 7. Likely to fire from post 3 in this one and be very tough in here. Sip of Bourbon, Travis Henry for Dale Fritz, 5-2. Number 2, Manhattan Joe was a winner in a dead heat here 2 races ago, and that was in this same class and did it on the lead. Manhattan Joe gets to start inside of Sip of Bourbon and probably is going to be driving early. Has 4 wins in the year. A nice earnings season, 27,021 starts. Manhattan Joe, 7-2 on the board. Number 6, That Moment in Life. Well, 2 wins, but 6 runner-up finishes, so 8 out of the 13 in the top 2 on the year. That Moment of Life is racing well. Now has to deal with a tougher post, but That Moment in Life is one that I think should be pretty good in here. And look, at before that last race had been off from May the 9th until just a week ago, and yet came out with a second place finish in 57 and 3. Pretty strong performance. Now comes back just a week later. So That Moment in Life is one that I love, the 10-1. I think That Moment in Life is one that just might be able to step up here with a big outing. Number 5, If You Don't Chew Big Red. Well, 4 wins in 9 starts and battled first up last time out. Now moves up and faces tougher, but you do see this one winning in 56. 2 races ago. If You Don't Chew Big Red, sent up by Tim Myers, and Tim has put up some big numbers. And If You Don't Chew Big Red, 5-1 on the board. And number 8, Carson Star Choice. Well, could have been a top choice if not for post position 8. But you do see this one flashing decent speed racing at Mohawk and is 8 out of 11 in the top 3 of the year. Problem is the post position, 7-1 on the board. Anthony Hunt for Vicky Gregg. It's a field of 9, race number 10. Right now, number 3, Sip of Bourbon, the 2-1 favorite. Gate is rolling for race number 10. Jordandale, Manhattan Joe, and Sip of Bourbon on the inside. In the center, Yell. Lonely Charlie, and if you don't, Chew Big Red to the outside. That Moment in Life and Dirty Little Piglet and Carson Star Choice. And the second year is Somewhere in Tuscany. The field for the 10th race, it's a field of 9. They're nearing the start. And they're off. Sip of Bourbon, Jordandale and Manhattan Joe. If you don't chew Big Red, then he'll Lonely Charlie in That Moment in Life, and then Somewhere in Tuscany. Carson Star Choice, and trailing the field is Dirty Little Piglet. Into the backstretch, Manhattan Joe wants to beat Jordandale for the lead. Manhattan Joe is sweeping up on the outside. Manhattan Joe is going to clear to the front. Jordandale is second. Sip of Bourbon is on the inside third. In front of you, Lonely Charlie. Then If You Don't Chew Big Red, and Somewhere in Tuscany, That Moment in Life, and Carson Star Choice, and Dirty Little Piglet, 28-3 the opening quarter. Manhattan Joe and Bruce Richardson's got the lead. Jordandale is racing second. Sip of Bourbon now has come to the outside. Sip of Bourbon is moving up against Manhattan Joe, and Jordandale is in the pocket. Lonely Charlie fourth, and then If You Don't Chew Big Red, Somewhere in Tuscany. On the outside, Carson Star Choice, then That Moment in Life, and trailing the field, Dirty Little Piglet. 58-3 the halftime, and it is Manhattan Joe. Sip of Bourbon on the outside, getting a little bit closer, and is only right now about a half length off the lead. Then Jordandale's on the inside, and If You Don't Chew Big Red is chewing up ground on the outside and is going to roll it 3 wide. And from the backfield, Carson Star Choice. They bunch up as they race to 3/4, and now If You Don't Chew Big Red has made a big move and has come on to take over the lead. Manhattan Joe and then Sip of Bourbon. Carson Star Choice is looming and is sent out wide, and then Jordandale and Lonely Charlie 3/4, 127-3. And If You Don't Chew Big Red has got the lead. Carson Star Choice racing second. If You Don't Chew Big Red gets the green in the 10th race and wins it. Carson Star Choice was second. Then Lonely Charlie, Sip of Bourbon, and Jordandale 156-3. If You Don't Chew Big Red. Back in front of us, the winner of race 10-5. If You Don't Chew Big Red, 5-year-old sports rider Brown Gelding, owned by Glenby Farms and trained by Tim Myers. Lauren House, the winning driver. It's the third win this year, fifth lifetime. If you don't chew, Big Red, 156-3. The 10th race payouts 5. If you don't chew Big Red, 1690, 740, and 468. Carson Star Choice 580 and 560 and 4. EL Lonely Charlie 490. $2 exactor 99 $40 try $400.60. The double $40. The dollar win for us 85.20. A 20-cent high five. 2,580. 21. Ka-ching. The 10th race or finish from the top is a 5, 6, 4, 3, 1, 8, 9, 2, 7. Once again from the top down, 5, 6, 4, 3, 1, 8, 9, 2, 7. Fans, that does conclude the live harness racing program for this Friday evening. Action resumes on Monday. Our first race on a Monday night will go to post at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Get well, Christine. We miss you.